Hello, everyone. Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm the WrestleGamer, Del Beebley Bujo. I'm joined by a couple of guys. First off, he is the patriarch and matriarch of Rockin' Waves 11294 and the DJ Chris Master Productions. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Chris Rogers. Chris, how you doing?
Doing awesome. Thanks for having me, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to WGS-TV. He's the Bay Area MVP. Sorry. Known as Will. Will, how you doing?
Now we're switched to Uwu. Well, somebody didn't pay the bills at Skype, but it's glad for having me, and let's get this thing started, shall we?
Well, we're going to talk about what WWE's groundbreaking announcement was going to be. You know, there was a lot of speculation on Facebook throughout the day yesterday about what it was. You know, a lot of people were thinking, oh, they're going to induct Chris Benoit into the Hall of Fame. And one person even thought that they were going to put the F back into WWE and change it back to the World Wrestling Federation. I didn't think that was going to happen anytime soon. You know, it says World Wildlife Fund. But what a lot of people were expecting to happen, the launch of the WWE Network. And I got to say, a lot of people, were kind of expecting this to be a cable TV network, but it turns out it's not that. It's a service just like Netflix. What are your thoughts on that?
I think this will be a good move going forwards, because now, if anybody looked up, you know, what they're going to be charging monthly, and they're also going to have streams for pay-per-view. They're going to be a lot better than other internet streams, and I think what they're proposing and everything else going forward, it's good quality. I think that's a good start, and you're going to have other sites that are going to be either shut down or terminated or other things like that. But going forward, I think this is good for ball in my other blog TV days. So for those who know me on blog TV, but yeah, I really like this move. Billy, this is good. I think this will attract a lot of the IWC and wrestling fans nationwide, and they're not doing too much like another company we know. Save that for another show. And I want to see how it progresses.
One of the major things that was said about the WWE Network, Chris, was the fact that all of the pay-per-views would be provided free of charge on the WWE Network. You know, look at the numbers. You know, there's something they even said last night during the big announcement. Monthly, fans who actually pay for the pay-per-views would have to spend upwards to $675. Now with the WWE Network, it's $9.99 a month with all of the pay-per-views provided free of charge. What are your thoughts on that type of service being in the WWE Network?
For WWE to have a network, I would expect for there to have the pay-per-views included. Otherwise, it'd just be like WWE on demand, you know. But with the pay-per-views thrown in, because I also read, if you sign up for the WWE Network, you're committed for 6 months. You have to pay that $9.99 for 6 months, which turns into about $60, which is about the price for one pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right in saying that? Yeah. Yes. So in my opinion, $9.99 a month versus $60 a month. Hey, I'm for it.
Speaking of on,
6 months time you pay for one paper.
Go ahead.
And 6 months time you pay for one pay-per-view, but you get 6 already. Can't get much better than that.
And it's interesting you brought up the on-demand service, because WWE Network will have a video on-demand service from what they said, over 300 hours of backlog video, including every World Wrestling Federation pay-per-view. And what I love is the fact that WCW will be in there, all the WCW pay-per-views and ECW pay-per-views. You got to say, for some people like us who are like wrestling historians of sorts, course, wrestling enthusiasts, that's almost like, they're dangling a carrot saying, this is, you need to take this carrot to get on the WWE Network. And I got to say, it's a pretty damn nice carrot.
Yep, and let that carrot grow and blossom forward. I mean, like Chris said, I'm going to take his words, you can't get any better than this. I mean, you're going to get everything from its archives, from the past, and like I like to mention the word quality again, at which stands for most. I like the move. I like how they're putting everything into one box and gonna really give a lot of fans a lot of memories, and they can relive it, watch it over and over again. And I actually like this call, and hope going forward this will be just one of many good things that WWE can actually bring to the table. And I did not mention creative writers in this whole sentence, but I like it going forward.
The presentation of the WWE Network took place at the Consumer Electronics Show. Of course, we had Stephanie McMahon out there, and one thing I really didn't like, of course, they had a hilarious miscue when it comes to the Monday Night War issue, and somebody in the prompter put an unneeded S in there, and Triple H and Shawn Michaels just, yeah, they just went to town on that one. So that was some good entertainment quality there. Stone Cold Steve Austin was also there with John Cena, as well as Vince McMahon himself. And WWE, in a way, also kind of debuted the new logo as it pertains to the WWE Network. Well, I'm going to ask you, what are your thoughts on that new logo that they debuted?
It's about damn time. I mean, how long did they have that logo? Like, quite some time. And I heard a whoosh. But anyway, going forward, I like the logo. It looks pretty, I can't say digitally tech, but, since their little issue with the World Wildlife Fund, and they had their little lawsuit and they had to change it to WWE, I think now with this logo it have new meaning, and hopefully there'll be no more lawsuits, Vince. But I like it nonetheless.
Guys, welcome in the host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, which can be heard exclusively on youtube.com/HWR show. He is the Illuminous one, the Shining Star, Rick Star. Rick, one of the things that was made mention about the WWE Network during the big launch last night was one of the key things is you can actually type in certain moments that you want to find backlogged in WWE history, and it'll take you straight to that video. What are your thoughts about that kind of a service being in the WWE Network?
It's pretty good. We actually talked last night on Hardcore Wrestling Radio that they're actually going to be airing Chris Benoit footage. They have released that. They are talking about that, the possibilities.
But now, we think it's going to be pretty. Going to be doing that is they're also going to be providing an advisory for fans. Is there any truth to that? There is some truth to that.
There has been. Let me bring up it's an advisory of the footage. I guess it's more along the lines of. Here's what it says.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah, don't try this at home. Don't kill your wife and kids at home. That's what the Wrestling Observer sent out a memo that's saying the Chris Benoit footage will be shown. Now, Chris Benoit, on the network broadcast, when the Chris Benoit footage will air on upcoming network, company will show an advisory. Now, as to what kind of advisory they're going to air, whether it's, the WWE does not support Chris Benoit, or what kind of advisory, who the really knows? I'm guessing WWE is just trying to cover their ass, but yet on the same token, make money off Chris Benoit. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Definitely, I definitely do see where you're coming from with this one. Another thing to keep note about the WWE Network, it's going to be a 24/7 live video streaming programming, including original blocks of programming like Legends House, Countdown. I think there was another one. I'm trying to remember from the Launch broadcast last night. But Will, looking at these original programming, what are your thoughts about like Countdown and WrestleMania Rewind and Legends House? What are your thoughts about that?
Like I stated earlier in my last sentence, a lot of wrestling fans, they're going to see memories. They're going to want to relive it. And I have nothing negative about anything about this. Not one. This is awesome going forward. This is something that we fans all across the nation could just sit here, reminisce, and just enjoy it. Overall, WWE outdid themselves this time. I mean, and to think that we used to bash WWE for not posting stuff about Chris Benoit, and what Rick mentioned a little bit just earlier, but now they really outdid themselves. This is something that now can abbreviate to the attention to everyone. And I would look forward to seeing this one day on the network. And like, I got to go back to what Chris said, $9.99 a month, can't get better than that. Take my wallet. Just take my wallet.
How much is it? $9.99?
$9.99
a month?
Yeah.
$9.99 a month, but you'll be committed for 6 months at a time.
Yeah.
So you would have to pay like $9.99, and at the end of the 6 months, I calculated it. It would come to $59.94 at the end of 6 months, which is about the same cost for a pay-per-view. So basically, by the end of 6 months, you'll get 6 months worth of WWE content on WWE Network for the price of one pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And all the pay-per-views will be for free on the network as well.
And not only that, but the inclusion of pre- and post-shows for every Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. And another great addition to the WWE Network, Rick, that I'm really excited about is the fact that NXT will be available on the WWE Network, and I'm really looking forward to what WWE will present with NXT, because I've heard a lot of great things about NXT.
Yeah, we both watched NXT. Again, I put that right there on the Facebook page several times. And the fact that it's going to be available to, anyone who, subscribes to the network, yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be a great thing. And, $60 for 6 months, that's not bad a deal. So, I thought that they were going to charge a lot more.
Yeah, fans were expecting that,
too. Did they say what pay-per-view is going to be available?
Every pay-per-view.
Everything's available. There's not one thing that they're not cutting out.
Nothing.
Wow. I guess they realized that, hey... Yeah, because they realized that WWE... I guess they realized that, hey, look, they must have realized that streaming nowadays is so easy, accessible. Might as well just say, hey, drop the price, and now here it is. And now it's... When you think about it, for $10 a month, why would you not pay for it? Well,
$10 a month times the entire huge fan base that the WWE has, that's a lot of money WWE is going to be making.
Exactly.
So
I like that they went with this idea instead of trying to find like a cable provider, because And that's what kind of brought it down last time. They went smart this time. I applaud them for that.
Rick, I got to agree with what Chris said. Doing it like this, is a much smarter and a much more people would probably think a much more cost-efficient route than actually trying to get on cable TV as an actual network.
You know what? That's probably what cost them so much lower. Because if they had gone to on Comcast, or if they had gone anywhere else, the price would have been jacked up. It probably would have been like $24.95 a month, at least. So they really did a great job. So you can't really argue.
Final thoughts on the launch of the WWE Network, starting with Rick. Rick, your final thoughts, please.
When I first saw it come out, I'm thinking, they've probably going to jack the price up sky high. But when you told me $9.99 a month, at least 6 months, you know what? You can't beat that, especially with all that they're offering. Shit. Anybody who doesn't now, who just goes for free pay-per-views, you know what? You're just, you either don't want to pay for wrestling or you're just a piece of shit. Period.
Yeah, definitely there. Will, what about you? Your final thoughts on the launch of the WWE Network coming February 24th, by the way.
Well.
Oh, I thought you went to Chris.
No, I said you.
Sorry about that, folks. Oh, okay. Well, Chris and Rick pretty much make the argument here. $9.99 a month. You only will get up to $54 for 6 months. That's like the price of WrestleMania back in the early 90s. I mean, they used to charge $55 just for one pay-per-view. And I'm like, it's ridiculous. I mean, you're going to get 6 pay-per-views. And you don't even have to go anywhere. Invite your friends, invite your folks, invite your loved ones who like the sport. And now going forward, they really outdid themselves. So I'll give WWE its props here. I mean, and then going through the year, you're not even spending, not even close to $100, or maybe a little over $100. But this is a deal that fans, I think, should take up on. This is very, very good. And I thought these prices were going to be redundantly ridiculous, but overall, I'm not impressed. I got to say, they really went above and beyond.
All right, Chris, on to you. Your final thoughts on the WWE Network.
Let me just say, for $9.99 a month, like everyone else said, you can't get better than that. And plus, with the, when the network launches first program, Monday Night Raw post show. I mean, let me just say, I hope they knock Monday Night Raw out of the ballpark that night for the launch of the WWE Network. It's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. I wish I had a device that would support it, but sadly I don't. So I'll probably have to hear about it from other people. So, oh well. But I'm looking forward to it. Really making a go for it this time. They announced it at a place where people will actually see it rather than during the commercial breaks of Monday Night Raw. So,
yeah, the Consumer Electronics
kudos
show.
to WWE.
Here are my final thoughts on the launch of the WWE Network. Ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed a groundbreaking move by the WWE, and with all the services provided within the WWE Network for $9.99 a month. Again, just to reiterate, all the pay-per-views will be provided for free. Original programming like WrestleMania Rewind, the Top 10 Countdowns, Legends House, all of the past Raws and SmackDowns, NXT Superstars, World Wrestling Federation pay-per-views, WCW pay-per-views, ECW pay-per-views, all of this service provided for $9.99 a month. To me, WWE is breaking new ground by offering this type of service. And come February 24th, there will be a lot of people getting hooked onto this service, including yours truly, the Wrestle Gamer, Double B, Billy Bujo. So indeed, WWE, come February 24th, will be entering a new era of streaming, live streaming services for entertainment for WWE fans. So go ahead.
And you can actually start getting it February 24th at 9 a.m.
So it's definitely going to be something to look forward to. But what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, what are your thoughts about the launch of the WWE Network coming February 24th? We want to hear from you guys out there. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Rick, where can fans check you out at HWR?
Of course, you can always check me on my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestle Radio. And anytime you want to listen to any of our shows, head on over to youtube.com/HWR Show.
Chris, where can fans find out more information about DJ Chris Master Productions and Rockin' Waves 11294?
For DJ Chris Master Productions, check us out at facebook.com/DJ Chris Master Productions. Also, you can check out Rockin' Waves 11294 on rockinwaves.com and on our news site, uvlog.com/something or other with a bunch of numbers.
And when he's not filling out illegal Google documents to have James the Big Easy excavated and evicted from the Houdat Temple, Will is over in the Bay Area. Will, what you got coming up?
That was cool. Well, this weekend, I hope the Saints upset the Seahawks. And I want the Niners to beat Carolina so we can have that conference championship between Houdat and the Empire. I'm looking forward to NFL weekend. And, of course, I'll continue to give you guys updated news about the conditioning of Mae Young. And I'm going to say this again. To that writer, Mike Mooneyham from the Post and the Courier, you need to be thrown off a river. Quit telling the fans that she's, I think that was disrespectful. I really thought your sources were really whack. And let us know the truth. We're not dumb fans. We know we smell bullshit coming from a mile away, but we'll keep you updated, folks.
Fans, also don't forget to like the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/WGS-TV. And also don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So for the Illuminous one, the shining star, Rick Starr, the Bay Area MVP known as Will, and Chris Rogers from Rockin' Waves 11294, I'm the Wrestle Gamer, Double B, Billy Bujo, saying thank you very much for watching. I'd like to remind everyone that this conversation about the WWE Network launch has been provided by James the Big Easy's brand new product, Fingers Up Me in the Houdat Temple.